Hello class, this is Juan Enriquez and I'll be answering, is social media to blame for depression in teens? Let's find out. Now there are a lot of pros and cons to social media use among teenagers. We can begin with the pros. Now social media is able to provide a platform for shy teenagers to express themselves and boost their confidence, which is definitely a pro. They can facilitate communication between teenagers and it can strengthen and maintain teens' relationships with each other, whether they're close or afar. And now social media can be used by schools to keep their students engaged with study material, lessons, etc. And it can also be beneficial for future opportunities if used correctly. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of cons with social media use. It can possibly lead to teenage depression, anxiety, and low self esteem. It can prevent the development of important social and direct communication skills, and it can embolden teens to harass each other or to be the victims of online harassment, which is a huge con. It can be a major distraction for teenage students, which can unfortunately lead to poor academic performance. Now, some inappropriate posts that teens could possibly post while they're young and not thinking can definitely come back to them and take away from opportunities that they were eligible for in the past. Definitely a huge con nowadays. Teens have actually shown symptoms similar to drug withdrawal when they're actually removed from the social media connections that they are connected to. Another huge and surprising con. Now, teenagers spend hours on social media, which can lead to insufficient sleep, anxiety, irritability, and other mental health issues that are easily avoidable. Now, when it comes to social media and teenage depression, some of the symptoms include hopelessness, sadness, irritability, anger, hostility. Teenagers can be tearful or frequent in crying. They can have a loss of interest in a lot of the activities they were previously interested in, which is definitely a huge effect on a lot of teenagers because once they're not interested in what they were interested in, now you can definitely lead and come to the conclusion that something's going on. Another thing is withdrawal from friends and family, some changes within their eating habits, their sleeping habits. Teenagers can become restless and very agitated. They can lose the enthusiasm and motivation that they had for activities, sports, etc. A noticeable lack of fatigue and energy, a difficulty concentrating in school, a lot of things. Now, when teenagers are easily frustrated and angry, this can definitely make them prone to outbursts. And when teenagers are prone to outbursts, they're not thinking correctly, therefore, it can make some bad and even life ending decisions. Teenagers may complain of physical pain, such as headaches, stomach aches when they're depressed. And according to the Journal of Positive School Psychology, teens become extremely vulnerable to criticism, rejection, failure, and they're more likely to isolate themselves from their friends and families. The Positive School Psychology Journal also states that teens begin to have problems in school, such as poor attendance, as they're less motivated. Teenagers could even run away from home if some social media friends encourage them to do so as well. Now, all of these things can lead to a develop self-esteem issue, depression issue, eating disorder issue. All these can easily lead to recklessness, violence, self-injury, which unfortunately can even lead to death. And according to the Journal of Management Information and Decision, social media makes teens more prone to isolation, which unfortunately could even end up in suicide attempts or suicide completion among teenagers. I believe, in conclusion, social media, although it has a lot of pros, the cons definitely outweigh the pros. And more teenagers need to be mindful of what they're consuming on social media. Definitely limiting their use can be helpful in decreasing their obsessiveness with social media, which can almost guarantee a depression in a teenager. And speaking awareness about the dangers of social media use among teenagers should be promoted by increasing internet literacy among teens in high school. Now, social media use is especially harmful for adolescents because they're easily conformed with what they see, what they hear, and if the stuff that they're consuming is not positive or harmful, it can lead to depression and death. Now, social media has the potential to be very positive, but if we're smart about it, thank you.